Hey guys, Sensei George here. Today, I'm going to be actually answering one of the questions my student had during one of our training sessions. So, get prepared for a little bit of Q&A. We're going to be going back and forth, and I'm going to be dissecting different scenarios that we could end up in to answer his question. So, Kevin, what's your question?
So you get in a fight, and it gets to a situation where you're clearly overpowered, you pull a weapon, and you get tossed. How do you keep yourself from turning your weapon into your injury?
Okay, that's a very good topic, because there are some people that I see that they come in for a slash or something of the sort and the opponent does something and it stabs themselves. That's a very common one for the downward slash, where they'll move off and let you stab yourself in the leg or get ready to set you up for a throw. And generally when someone throws you and you have a weapon, their prime objective is to keep that weapon close so it can't hurt them. So let's go ahead and go into that. First, I do want to talk about how you keep your weapons on you. I carry two with me most of the time because of my profession outside of filming and everything else. So what I happen to keep with me is a tactical pin and a knife. So the pocket knife I use for cutting rope, lanyards, and a few other different things on the job. Tactical pin for my safety in writing. So I keep them at separate levels for most of the time so I know which one I'm accessing depending on the threat. Because very often, again, check out the disclaimer below about your local laws and stuff, but very often the knife is the same level of lethality as a gun. So if you pull out a knife, you just raise the lethality level of a situation. So if there's multiple attackers or something, maybe it's justified. I don't know, I'm not your lawyer. But if you're in a situation, it's one-on-one, the guy's unarmed and you pull out a knife, you automatically increase the threat level and you become an aggressor. But you gotta first know where your weapons are and be comfortable drawing them. So we're gonna be going over the pocket knife. This is a training knife. Don't train with live weapons, keep you guys safe. But we're gonna go into that situation real quick. I'll show you a few of the instances that we were talking about first. So first you're gonna have a right hand rear downward stab. And one of the things that is shown, you're gonna wanna go around the other side so you can see it, is that he's gonna come for a reverse grip downward stab. And often enough, the thing is to move offline and push it so that they stab themselves before you get ready to toss them away or kick and then move. That's a very common tactic. So just showing that one more time. Moving offline and thrusting it into their leg. If you can, additionally twist it to cause more damage as you try to run. You're trying to do mechanical damage so he can't continue to come after you. But guess what? He stabbed himself with his own knife. So now we're gonna go into one more that's very oftenly done, is that they come in with a thrust. And moving offline, you can come into one of the wrist grabs. I suggest getting the arm, kicking, causing some pain, getting control, and then doing one of the whips to throw the person over. But what you can see is a great deal of time, I have control of where the knife is the whole time. So it's a little bit harder for you to worry about that, and I can get some control and rip the weapon out of your hand and do what I need. But let's say we get into a situation where I come in with a downward diagonal slash, and what you're gonna do is bring your arm underneath my armpit, around my neck. This is called kata hajime, or a single wing choke. So I'm here, I come in. If you get into this position, I have a knife. It's harder for me to stab you here. It's not impossible, but you're not gonna be sitting here waiting for me to stab you either. So a very popular thing to do from here, or should I say effective, is to step your right hip behind me, and then pick me up, and slam me. And this whole time, I do have to be careful with my knife. If I had whipped back in, or there's too much force and I came in, I could have stabbed myself, or if my arm was out, I could have dropped it and it could have cut me. So that is a position that I think we can talk about, where what to do with your weapon if you're being thrown, because I drew a weapon because I felt like I was in a compromised situation. So I'm imagining there's like 3 or 4 of you guys, and you came up on me and I felt like I was gonna die. I pull out my weapon out of self-defense, and I'm prepared to defend myself, and I happen to come in, and some guys knows what they're doing. So now I end up in this position and I'm gonna get thrown. What I'm going to do is I'm not gonna carry my weapon back into me, because again, that could cause the injury, it could bring the knife closer to me. That's what I'm gonna worry about. I'm gonna have my arm sort of out and about and tense. I don't let it get loose, I keep it tense the whole way. So if he goes to throw me, I tuck my chin, everything else, my arm came out front. And if you look at this, I still have his forearm, he slammed me, my knife is still ready. I have my thumb on the aggressive jigging, so I can keep it tight for the cuts, and then I come back towards him, face, and drive, and push off, and get ready to defend myself again. So it's very important to know your positioning of the weapon at all times, both for the guy doing the throw and the guy doing the break fall and trying to survive. So showing that one more time, I came in for my slash, he comes in and happens to control me. I can't move anywhere, I can't get an effective stab because he's not gonna sit here. I'm getting slammed, but I need to know to tighten up my arm so my knife doesn't become a hazard to myself. So he goes to complete the throw, break fall, breathe, look at my hips, look at this gap he's provided me, and then what I'm gonna do is shoot my hips out, called the shrimping maneuver, and place the knife right along his neck, push, and then getting my feet underneath of him, pushing him off of me, and getting prepared to fight again. Okay? So, in short, the answer to your question is a lot of positions in which someone does a defense won't even give you a chance to be able to have your knife free. But in the situation in which it does happen, the first rule is don't hyperextend your arm, because all they have to do is pop it to release the knife. Don't let your arm be too loose, because if it does, momentum will cause you to whip the arm into yourself. Keep it tense just enough so that upon a break fall, you maintain control and you can move the blade as necessary throughout any given point in time. Are there any more questions on to that?
Disarming?
Disarming? Okay, we'll go over that last bit and call it a wrap for this. So you have a knife and you come in with a straight thrust. So you're not gonna just sit here, you're gonna be whipping your arm back. That's the first part that's very important. So if you come in for a thrust, that arm needs to come back in and you need to be facing me already. So one more time. That's more practical, okay? We're not gonna defend ourselves against you sticking your knife out there and waiting for me to do something. So when that knife comes in, I try to maintain that control and I pin his arm to himself so he can't run, and I punch to the back of the hand repeatedly until it flies out of his hand, and then change my attack and secure the weapon if necessary before going in anywhere. But I never take my eyes off of my opponent. So the first way that I love to do is moving offline, pinning the opponent's arm so he can't move around as much. So notice how I use my forearm to pin his bicep, and then I grab his arm and I punch to the back of the hand where the metacarpals are to make it insanely hard for him to hold the knife afterwards. If he tries to attack me otherwise, I still maintain control. I shift and I come out and I attack the fangs of the snake. This method is called defanging the snake, where you come in there as fast as possible and strike the thing that they're holding it with. The next one that I'll show you guys is that when you come out, I like to keep something straight moving in and then using my chest to hyperextend and get the blade out of the hand. So I'm popping the elbow, which would in turn make him dislodge the knife. And if it's not, and I get him into a better position here and lock him down, the way that you do this is you get your hand on the back of the knife, if it's single-sided, and you push it, and that is what will dislodge the knife. From here, don't make the situation worse. Don't try to do things you're not prepared to do, and be aware of your consequences and your local laws. From here, remember, it's self-defense. You're not trying to be out in a combat field. So those are just a few of the ways to disarm. Striking to the back of the hand, barring the elbow, which will open up the hand, and then last but not least, defanging the snake, and the way that I grapple you and I push on the back of the knife and push it out of your hand. So the way that works is if you hold it, just hold it out and about. You can do the thumb on the back, or you can do a tight grip. But the main purpose of this, and the locking mechanism is a little loose on this, is to push and to drive it to the point where it just slides out on the back. Once that's there, I've defanged the snake, I do what I gotta do, and I keep my eyes on the knife at all times. I often like to step on my weapons, so that way if I were to take you down, and you were here and the knife was in your reach, if you try to reach for the knife, I see that happening, I can crush your bones or something else. But if it was open and you grab that, I put myself in a whole another room of danger. So that's why I try to maintain eye contact at the weapon at all times. Even if you fell down and you still have the weapon, if I do something like this, it increases my odds so much better. Maintaining that control, stomping is necessary, and then running. But hopefully I've damaged your hand enough with a stomp that you can't even hold the knife anymore. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your questions. And thank you for training.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching What Would Ninjas Do? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let us know some of the other videos you might like to see or questions that you might have, and I would love to answer them. Thank you for watching. どうもありがとうございました。